All right, everybody. I am going to go into the Facebook group and I am going to share this with all of my, let's see here. I want to make sure that this is going to broadcast. Um, I am not seeing this go live. Let's see here. This should be live. Let me just see what's going on. Maybe I need to refresh everything, but I am not seeing this. There we go. Okay. There we go. So I need to share this broadcast. Let me see where this is. Okay, beautiful. I am going to go ahead and share this with everybody. I may need to change what I'm doing. There we go. All right. I think I can do this now. Nothing seems to work the way it should work anymore on Facebook. Let's see if I can come in here and find this broadcast so that I got on early so that I could share it, and it is not popping up. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to share this to my groups. All right. I'm going to share this. I have a number of groups to share it to, and then we'll dive in. Okay. Finding the guardian of your soul. And it's so great to be back here doing this live. I just want to say I had stopped doing my lives for a long time. We had so many things, new things going on. I created an entirely new program, and that took forever. And now I am in the process of getting back to doing our lives, and especially my lives with Benjamin, my husband. We are doing those again, so that's kind of fun. All right, here we go. We are good to go. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that I feel is really, really, really important. I'm Lisa Shield, and this is Finding the Guardian of Your Soul. I want to welcome everybody who's here listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please, tell your girlfriends and your guy friends and your colleagues, whoever you know, your single girlfriends especially, about these broadcasts, because I talk about things in a way that other people don't talk about them. Other coaches don't talk about this subject the way I do. And I know that my approach is unique. And I know that some of my insights are unique. I've been doing this for almost a quarter of a century now. I've been at this a long, long time. And today I want to talk about a really important topic that I think is relevant for so many of you. And it's this idea that the stereotype that men find you too intimidating. And this is a big barrier for many, many, many smart, successful women. I think a lot of you, almost, I know I felt this way. It feels like a bit of a rub, like a bait and switch. You did all this work to improve yourself and become successful, climb the corporate ladder, or succeed in whatever career you are in. And now you go out on dates with men and they tell you that you're too intimidating, or they're intimidated by your success, or whatever it is that they're saying. Excuse me. And it's really discouraging. It almost feels unfair when you see other women who don't have the success, who do not have the accomplishments you have, who are not as educated or have not achieved the amount of wealth that you have. And here you are almost, feeling badly and wishing that you hadn't done all that work or that it's somehow working against you. And I am, first of all, very sympathetic. I know how that feels. I went through some of the same things when I was dating, and I see this with so many of the women that I coach and that go through my programs and work with us. And it's just so discouraging. And you get out there, you don't get the hits that you would expect online, or maybe you get lots of first dates or second dates or third dates, but then it seems like men just want sex from you, but they don't want to have relationships with you. And it's really a tough hurdle. So the first thing is that, this idea that you're too intimidating, in some ways, it is a stereotype, right? And it persists in modern dating. Uh, it comes out of, look, we women had to fight for our right to be able to have careers. In my mother's day, she gave up her career in order to raise a family, to have kids, and to be a housewife and a mother. And it wasn't ultimately what she wanted. It actually, when my mother became a mother and then my father left her when we were very young with two small children for another woman, she just regretted the choices that she had made. But that's really what society was like back then. And unfortunately, my mother didn't live long enough. She had got breast cancer when I was 15 years old, or I was 12 when she got it, and I was 16 when she died. So she didn't get a chance to actually, she was going back to school to study to be a psychologist, and she wasn't able to finish her studies because she got sick. And so my mother didn't get the chance that most of us have. But this is an outdated stereotype. Men do want successful women today. Any successful man wants, many successful men. They want women who have a sense of self, and, they want women who are going to bring something to the table. In fact, a lot of women, what was horrible in my mother's generation, in our mothers and grandmothers' generations, was in some ways the men would go off to work, they had careers, they led lives outside of the household. And so the woman was at home all day, with the kids and all, and being a housewife and a mother. And so she had a very narrow life. She didn't have a lot of really wonderful things happening and work challenges and things that made her an exciting partner. And so the husband would come home, and she had been immersed in all of the children and the family, things. And the husband had gone to work and he had this whole outside life apart from her. And so it was hard for the two of them often to come together. The wife didn't feel stimulating and exciting for the husband because all she had to talk about really were the kids and what was happening at home and cooking dinner and all. And it didn't allow her the ability to be an exciting, interesting partner. And so, in many ways, today, we have so many more advantages because we're so much more well rounded and intelligent and educated and experienced. And it can make us better partners and much more interesting partners for our husbands and our partners. And so we want to start to look at this in the right way, that it does add to who we are, and we shouldn't have to dumb ourselves down. But what often happens is some of us, we have internalized these beliefs about being too much. Some of us have really bought into this story that we are too much, that we are intimidating. And maybe you've even heard that from men. and you start to believe it. And then when you internalize that behavior, you might unconsciously downplay your achievements or you may alter your behavior so that you appear less threatening to these men. So you go on dates and you don't talk about your career because some coaches tell you not to do that, and they say that it's going to feel threatening to men. And you self-censor, right? You censor yourself, and then it leads to inauthentic interactions with men, and you start attracting partners who don't appreciate your true self. And then it creates anxiety and self-doubt because you're hindering your own ability to form genuine connections and be genuine, be authentic. You hear all of these, coaches telling you sort of two different things. Don't talk about your career because it's going to feel threatening to men. But then on the other hand, you start to dumb yourself down or subconsciously, not talk about all of this, and you have anxiety because you're not showing up the way you are, but then coaches are telling you to be authentic. So it's like a catch 22. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? And this is a terrible double bind for us women. It just feels so incredibly unfair. Um, I really want to talk about something that is so important. There is a huge difference between being a confident, successful woman and being masculine. And so this is something that a lot of women are not aware of. And this is what's really getting in your way. You're not, men may say that they feel intimidated by your success or that you're too intimidating. But what they're really trying to say to you, and they don't have words for it, is that you are coming across like a man. You're leading with your success. You're leading with a kind of masculine behavior, your resume and your work. And in a romantic context, they want to really see your heart, your femininity, your softness, right? Your openness. And so if you're coming in with this, I'm a successful, smart, independent businesswoman, they feel intimidated by you as a woman because they're not seeing your feminine nature. They're not seeing how they can connect with you in a romantic way. So you may have a wonderful 3 hour, 4 hour date, and they're looking for that masculine behavior to melt away so that they can have that beautiful connection with you and feel your heart and see your feminine side. But very often, many women today who are very successful don't even realize how they're suppressing their femininity or they're not in touch with their feminine nature. And so these men never get to see that. And that's really what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you not that you should not be proud of your success and that they don't find your success impressive. What they're saying is, I'm not connecting with you. As a woman, you feel more like my boss than a potential wife or girlfriend. Do you hear that? And so the work that we do in my course is I really work with all of you to start to bring both of those sides of yourself together so that you can still be the strong, successful woman, but not a woman who says, I want a man, but I don't need a man. A woman who can let a man know the ways in which she needs him. Now, I'm not saying you need a man to put food on the table, to provide for you, to pay for you, although some of you do want those things, despite how successful you are. You really do want a man to want to do those things for you. Some of you have a hard time admitting that or even receiving from men. The truth is there are many men who are very generous and would love to do those things for you, but they won't do them for masculine women. They will do them for feminine women who know how to be in their hearts and invite men to do things for them. I had a breakthrough in awareness when I was dating, and I lived in Los Angeles, and boy, are there some gorgeous, fit, attractive, successful women there. And for me, competing with that was really, really, really hard. And one of the most challenging things of all was looking around at how there was a certain entitlement among a lot of these women that they just expected men to take them to amazing restaurants and on incredible dates and pay for everything and all. And they just expected that. And I would look at these women and I asked myself, why do men do these things for these women and not me? Why? Like, I'm a kind woman, I'm a good person. But these women, these guys are tripping over themselves, and some of them weren't even grateful or nice. They were just entitled. And I realized it was because those women asked for what they wanted. They asked for it. They knew what they wanted, they expected it, they asked for it, and they got it. Me, I was sitting there telling myself, "I'm not like those women. I don't need that. I don't need a man to do all those things for me." But if I felt that way, that was exactly what I was putting out, and that was exactly what I was getting. And it wasn't until I started to open up and receive from men and open up and shift my inner dialogue to, I would love for a man to do those things for me. In fact, I want to invite men to do those things for me. And I want to learn how to receive from men. And when men do those things for me, how do I wanna behave? How do I wanna respond? I wanna be gracious and kind, but not sleep with them, not lower my bar, lower my standards, but be gracious, be accepting, be receptive. Not Do you all understand that when a man wants to do things for you, take you on a beautiful date, or he wants to take care of you or fix your problems even? I mean, I know we don't like that, but when a man tries to fix our problems, they're offering themselves to us. They're not just trying to do things for us, they're trying to be generous to find a way into our lives. They're trying to connect with us. And when we reject those behaviors, I had a woman on a breakthrough on a Q&A call on our course the other day, and she's dating a man, and she was minimizing how he would pull out her chair for her when they would go to a restaurant. She was like, "Well, it's nice, but, it's so awkward. Like, I don't need a guy to do that for me." He wanted to do that for her. He was taking care of her. He was doing what he thought was a gentlemanly thing for her. And she was belittling it and pushing it away. She was uncomfortable receiving that kindness, that gesture from him. Now, it is so important as a feminine woman that you start to open up and become receptive to men, to notice all these sweet things that they're doing for you, and to say yes to them and allow them, receive these beautiful gestures. You don't have to dumb yourself down and pretend that you're not the CEO of your business. But at the same time, he doesn't just want to see you as a CEO. He wants to see you as a woman that he can be a man with. And you are going to have to stop subconsciously pushing his gestures away and telling yourself that you want a man, but you don't need a man. You're going to have to start to embrace your femininity and be receptive to men. And I'm not just talking about the men you like and you're like, "Oh, well, this is a great guy, and yeah, I can be receptive to him." I'm talking about all men being gracious and kind and warm and with all men, men at work who do things for you. I have to tell you, some of you CEOs and boss ladies, once you start opening up and thanking men and being, learning how to communicate with them, the men that work under you, they will be so much kinder, so much more excited to show up for you. They will start doing things for you just because you're so kind to them and receptive to them. So instead of saying, I need you to have that report on my desk by 9 a.m. tomorrow, you would say, you would be my hero if you could have that report on my desk at 9 a.m. It would be wonderful to see that report on my desk first thing in the morning when I walk in. That's how we need to talk to men. You can get everything you want from them and more, believe me, when you do it with a feminine touch. And they are going to be so much more receptive to you. So, do some men feel threatened by your success? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it brings up their own insecurities and inadequacies. Maybe they're not where they want to be in their careers. And you being a successful person in the same way that a guy who's super successful might feel intimidating to them, you're going to feel intimidating to them. And you can't give them some spiel about, oh, it doesn't matter and I don't care and whatever. A man has to feel like he is a man in your presence. And you can try to do everything to make that man feel okay. But if he feels insecure, then he's not your guy. There are plenty of men out there who are, as long as you can be feminine. As long as you are in your feminine, you can attract some very strong, powerful men who are looking for accomplished women, put together women, women that they'd be proud to be partners with, who are feminine and bring out their masculine side. But if a man is intimidated by your uh, success, there's nothing you can do to fix that. You need to find a partner who celebrates your achievements rather than feels diminished by them. So your partner should be your biggest cheerleader and not your competitor. He needs to see your success as a positive attribute and not a threat. So you cannot be in a relationship where you don't thrive, where you are not guardians of each other's souls and where you want the best for one another. So you have to recognize and you have to be honest with yourself if you feel that you need to compromise your ambitions to make your partner feel comfortable, because all that will do is lead to resentment and you will lose respect for him and he will feel emasculated. So you can't do that. The secret to getting this solved is to embrace your feminine nature so that you can show up and be all of who you are. To step into being that kind, loving, receptive, open hearted woman who doesn't lead with her resume and her accomplishments. in a romantic context who knows how to balance all of that with being heartfelt, receptive, gracious, kind, feminine, playful, and you have to bring that to the table. Some of you are thinking, I'm going to meet a man who's stronger than me, a more masculine man than me. But I have to tell you, men, good men, secure men, they're not going to compete with a masculine woman. They're not going to try to be more masculine than you. They're going to feel your masculine energy very quickly and they're going to turn away. They're not going to ask you on a second date. They're not going to pursue you. They may try to get you into bed. They'll sleep with you, but they won't see you as a wife or a future partner. And this is where you need to do your work. This is where you're falling short. This is why you don't have the relationships you're longing for. And you want to know what? It is a solvable problem. You can do this. You can do this. And what I want you to do is go to lisashield.com. All over my website, you will find all kinds of information about me, my team, what we do. Click the button to watch my free masterclass. It is 45 minutes long, best 45 minutes you will have ever spent on your love life. At the end of that masterclass, book a call with my team. We will discuss with you on that breakthrough call how we can help you embrace your feminine nature so that you can stop wasting time thinking you're going to figure this out on your own, going on more dates with men who tell you, oh, you're too intimidating. And, I don't really feel any chemistry with you. How can a guy feel chemistry with a woman who's in her masculine? He can't. There's no spark. Let us help you. Let us help you. This will be the best gift you ever given yourself in your entire life. If you have a birthday coming up, make it your birthday present to yourself. Don't wait another minute. Just do it. Go to the website, click the button, and sign up for a call. Please also send us your suggestions for future topics for this broadcast. We want to hear from you. Please go and give us your feedback. We love to hear your feedback about how we're doing. Tell your friends. As I said, we want to grow our audience. I know I haven't been doing these for a while, so I have a little bit of an uphill climb to reconnect with all of you. So please help us out. And just know I have my Finding the Guardian of Your Soul podcast on Sundays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. That would be noon Eastern. So on Sundays, you can tune in and hear me and my husband, Benjamin. I pick his brain. That's such a weird statement, by the way. But he is such an amazing man that I want to share him with all of you so that you can really hear the male perspective. He says it all in such a beautiful way. So thank you for listening. I'm Lisa Shield. I can help you get this solved, this and so, so, so much more. This is one facet of a much bigger discussion around how to attract the guardian of your soul. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next Thursday at the same time. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.